Quarter-hour reports on our position and status.
Sir.
All battle stations, Mr. Sulu.
Battle stations. All hands to battle stations.
The Star Trek universe kicked off in 1966 with the original series, created by science fiction visionary Gene Roddenberry, and later exploded into a massive film and TV juggernaut. While the original series, which starred William Shatner as Captain James T. Kirk and Leonard Nimoy as Mr. Spock, saw only 3 seasons, it made an indelible impression on the sci-fi genre.
Mankind. Ready to kill.
That's the way it was in 1881.
I wonder how humanity managed to survive.
We overcame our instinct for violence.
Live-action TV follow-up, Star Trek The Next Generation, with Patrick Stewart as Captain Jean-Luc Picard leading an ensemble cast, captivated viewers from 1987 to 1994, and inspired 3 more series that would air within the next decade: Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise.
Mr. Wolf, coordinate your teams with Dr. Crusher and Command LaForge. Assess damage and injury.
Aye, sir.
In 2017, Trek returned to small screens with Star Trek Discovery, set during a tumultuous wartime era about a decade before the original series. The year 2020 gave fans a celebration of one of its most iconic characters, with the premiere of Star Trek Picard and Stewart reprising his role. The TV franchise has also introduced 2 animated series, Lower Decks and Prodigy. And since Prodigy is meant for kids, we're including it as an honorable mention. But which of the TV and streaming series is best? We are ranking each show by tomato meter, so you may be surprised to see which show gets number 1.
All enemy vessels armed and ready.
Shields up.
Prepare for battle.
And for Completus, the animated series, which ran for 2 seasons in the early 1970s and has a 94% tomato meter score, only has 16 reviews of its first season, so it won't be included here because of the low number of eligible reviews. With all of that out of the way, we are ranking all Star Trek TV shows ranked by tomato meter. Number 8, Star Trek Enterprise. Set in the mid-22nd century, over 100 years before James T. Kirk helmed the famous vessel, this installment of the Star Trek franchise is set on the Enterprise NX-01. The NX-01 is the first Earth starship capable of Warp 5 and explores the history of the interplanetary upheaval that eventually leads to the formation of the Federation. Starring Scott Bakula, Connor Trinneer, Jolene Blaylock, and created by Rick Berman and Brannon Braga. Critics say, while some may find Star Trek Enterprise a welcome return to a familiar universe, it's equally as likely to repel those uninterested in mining stories from the franchise's past.
Respond.
We're both here, Captain. Fire.
Target his weapons.
I can't get a lock through the camouflage.
Take out the emitters, but don't puncture the hull.
They do know we're on board. They're probably trying to take out the weapons. Enterprise, any chance of using the transporter?
You have to get closer to the hull.
Can you do that? We're on our way.
We've lost the emitters.
Warp status.
2 minutes. More enemy ships are closing. If Enterprise stops the self-repair sequence...
The drone will escape.
Enterprise, we're at the hull.
The ship's movement is too erratic. I can't get a lock.
They're targeting our warp core. Hull plating's at 43%. 36%.
Number 7, Star Trek Voyager. Catherine Janeway is the captain of a starship that is lost in space and must travel across an unexplored region of the galaxy to find its way back home. On its way, the crew encounters different species that they must deal with, but find that all their adventures only make them long for home. Starring Kate Mulgrew, Robert Beltran, Roxanne Dawson, and created by Rick Berman, Michael Piller, and Jerry Taylor. Critics say Star Trek Voyager breaks the Star Trek mold with a brand new final frontier and the fierce leadership of the franchise's first female captain.
30,000 kilometers and closing.
Target their power core.
Direct hit, minor damage.
Return fire.
Bridge to Taurus, status.
I can't locate their shield grid generator. Can you divert more power to sensors?
Stand by.
They've damaged our deflector, Captain. If it goes offline, we'll be vulnerable to the alien attacks.
Noted. Target his weapons array.
We lost our phaser banks.
Torpedoes, full spread.
It's B'Elanna. She's trying to bypass our security protocols.
Stop her.
Computer, open a comm link to the Equinox. Workstation 33, Beta. Max, listen to me.
Back for round 2, BLT?
This isn't one of our games. People are dying over here.
I wish you didn't have to be one of them.
Max, please.
Shields are weakening.
We've almost got them. Keep targeting their weapons array. One more torpedo ought to do it.
Captain.
Fire.
Number 6, Star Trek. The iconic series Star Trek follows the crew of the starship USS Enterprise as it completes its mission in space in the 23rd century. The show follows Captain James T. Kirk, along with half-human, half-Vulcan science officer Spock, ship doctor Bones McCoy, ensign Chekhov, communications officer Lieutenant Uhura, helmsman Lieutenant Sulu, and chief engineer Lieutenant Commander Scotty Scott. Now, all of them confront strange alien races, friendly and hostile alike, as they explore unknown worlds. Starring William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, Nichelle Nichols, and created by Gene Roddenberry. Critics say, an optimistic ode to humanity, Star Trek may look dated, but its gadgetry and solid storytelling solidify its place as one of pop culture's most enduring franchises. Number 5, Star Trek Lower Decks. Star Trek Lower Decks focuses on the support crew serving on one of Starfleet's least important ships, the USS Cerritos, in 2380. Ensigns Mariner, Boimler, Rutherford, and Tendi must keep up with their duties and their social lives, often while the ship is being rocked by a multitude of sci-fi anomalies. The ship's bridge crew includes Captain Carol Freeman, Commander Jack Ransom, Lieutenant Shax, and Dr. Tiana. This is the second animated spin-off in the franchise after 1973 to 74 Star Trek the Animated Series, but has a decidedly more adult tone and humor. Starring Tawny Newsome, Jack Quaid, Noel Wells, and created by Mike McMahon. Critics say fun but not very bold, Lower Decks flips the script on Star Trek regulation just enough to stand out in the franchise, if not the greater animation landscape.
don't make it.
We're making it.
I wasn't mad that you were stealing the Sacramento promotion. I apply for those all the time. Nothing ever comes of it.
What? No, why were you freaking out?
Because you would have gotten it, and I miss you, okay? You're my best friend.
Oh, haven't you shared enough secrets today? Just shut up.
Ransom, get our bags! Way ahead of you.
Sorry. I mean, get the captain to the bio bed. Quick, quick!
Did we save the Cerritos?
Working on it.
Ooh, I got it. One illegal virus, but someone has to take it to the ship.
But who's small enough to go undetected?
Yeah, and who could survive in space without a ship?
Someone who can travel with the program safely stored in her hard drive. Peanut Hammer! You can load the code into their ship using your robotic abilities. Oh my gosh, Peanut Hammer! You're gonna save the day!
I'm gonna pass.
I'm sorry, what?
Number 4, Star Trek Discovery. The story of Star Trek Discovery begins roughly a decade before Captain Kirk's 5-year mission, as portrayed in the original Star Trek from the 1960s, and a century before the events of Star Trek Enterprise. Now, the series follows the crew of the USS Discovery as they encounter new worlds and civilizations, delving into familiar themes and expanding upon an incident that has been talked about within the franchise's universe but never fully explored. Starring Sonequa Martin Green, Doug Jones, Anthony Rapp, and created by Brian Fuller and Alex Kurtzman. Critics say, although it takes an episode to achieve liftoff, Star Trek Discovery delivers a solid franchise installment for the next generation, boldly led by the charismatic Sonequa Martin Green.
Multiple torpedoes locked on us. Invasive pattern Delta 5.
Hi, sir.
All power to forward shields, fire full spread. Damage report.
Breach in section 2, decks 9 and 10. 7 confirmed dead. Shields at 86%. Shields at 82%.
We have a breach on deck 12. Emergency bulkheads engaged successfully.
I've got a leg panel.
Backplate complete.
We need an adjustment on 1.0, 2.3, and 4.2.
I'm on it. I got it.
We need the time crystal now.
Number 3, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. A spin-off of Star Trek The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine is set on a space station near the planet Voyager. This time, Commander Benjamin Sisko is in charge of a diverse crew. But unlike other Star Trek series, there's no USS Enterprise to help them. Sisko and the crew must fight off rival alien species who want control of Deep Space Nine because of its strategic position close to a wormhole which allows speedy travel to the far reaches of space. Starring Avery Brooks, Renee Oberzanwa, Nana Visitor, and created by Rick Berman and Michael Piller. Critics say Deep Space Nine's first season lays the groundwork for what could be the grittiest Star Trek series yet.
The Lakota's targeting their weapons on our warp engines.
They're bluffing. That's a Federation ship. They're not going to fire on us.
I hope you're right about that, Chief.
Continue on course.
We're in weapons range.
Raise shields. Damage report.
Port shields are at 60%.
Someone's been upgrading the Lakota's weapons. That's a lot of firepower for an Excelsior-class ship.
Can we cloak?
We would have to lower shields.
I wouldn't advise it.
Do we make a run for it?
If they've been tinkering with the weapons, who knows what they've done to the warp drive.
Hail them.
No answer. They're trying to disable our engines.
Let's go. We've got to get you to the medical bay.
What do we do, Commander?
We fight. Target their weapons. Fire phasers.
Number 2, Star Trek: The Next Generation. Featuring a bigger and better USS Enterprise, this series is set 78 years after the original series. In the 24th century, instead of Captain James Kirk, a less volatile and more mature Captain Jean-Luc Picard heads the crew of various humans and alien creatures in their adventures in space, the final frontier. Starring Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes, LeVar Burton, and created by Gene Roddenberry. Critics say it may never be the original series, but with an exciting new mission and an expansive ensemble, Star Trek: The Next Generation proves to be an engaging introduction to a bold new final frontier.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
No response.
This is Captain Picard representing the United Federation of Planets. Guinan, activate your view screen. I would like you to monitor what's going on up here. We may need your input.
I'm here, Captain. Your screen's activated. I have the other ship.
You're familiar with this life form?
Yes. My people encountered them a century ago. They destroyed our cities. Scattered my people throughout the galaxy. They're called the Borg. Protect yourself, Captain, or they'll destroy you.
Shields up. Aye, sir.
All decks, stand by.
Security, report to main engineering. We have an intruder.
And before we get to number 1, here is a quick honorable mention. Star Trek: Prodigy. A motley crew of young aliens in the Delta Quadrant find an abandoned Starfleet ship, the USS Protostar. Taking control of the ship, they must learn to work together as they make their way towards the Alpha Quadrant. Starring Kate Mulgrew, Riley Alazraki, Brett Gray, and created by Kevin and Dan Hagman. Shasha Sheed from Comic Ears says, "For those who have never heard of Starfleet, and by extension Star Trek, it's a way to discover this world and its intentions of unity and moving forward as a collective than the individual. It's absolutely amazing."
Relax. I'm sure this is just a routine systems check. Pull it up on screen.
Oh, that does not look routine.
It's beautiful.
What exactly am I looking at?
Your course has led us into a binary system where the gravitational pull of an orbiting white dwarf is in the final moments of tearing apart a red giant.
A dying star. What a rare and exciting way to meet our doom.
This right here is why we shouldn't be in space.
For the record, I tried to caution you. Perhaps you'd like my help to change course, Captain.
I see what you're doing. But this is my ship. I control it. Be gone.
Your ship?
I said our, didn't I? You just couldn't hear it over all this noise. Zero, get us out of here.
Attempting to change course.
Okay. Appears like we're still heading straight into it. Why aren't we changing course, Z?
It's not me. We are falling into the dwarf star's gravity well.
Then warp us out of here.
Okay, doing what you told me to do.
Just a friendly reminder. Using a warp drive inside a gravity well may result in unpredictable and dangerous side effects.
Right, I knew that. I meant divert all the power to the end pulse engines.
No, so many buttons.
If you divert all power, you'd be deactivating...
Victory for Jacob Hogg! Oh, wait, where'd the lady go?
And finally, number 1, Star Trek: Picard. Retired Admiral Jean-Luc Picard, still deeply affected by the loss of Lieutenant Commander Data and the destruction of Romulus, steps into the next chapter of his life. Starring Patrick Stewart, Issa Briones, Allison Pill, and created by Akiva Goldsman, Michael Chabon, Kirsten Beyer, and Alex Kurtzman. Critics say, anchored by the incomparable Patrick Stewart, Picard departs from standard Starfleet protocol with a slower, serialized story, but like all great Star Trek, it tackles timely themes with grace and makes for an exciting push further into the final frontier.
curious.
Picard, you're alive. This fills me with joy.
Heads up. So you here to help with the cleanup, or do you just make messes?
I don't believe it.
For a few minutes, I felt connected to everything. I saw everything. I saw La Serena in the transwarp conduit. I saw the snakehead chasing it.
So you opened another conduit and came after us.
You needed our help.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Poor Hugh. It must have taken appalling brutality to turn such a gentle soul to violence. What are they doing?
Using a battery pack to try and get the food replicators back online.
Are other systems operational?
What do you need?
Long-range scanners.
They can be.
Well, friends, that about does it for us. Be sure to stay tuned to the Rotten Tomatoes channel for more of the entertainment content you love. Until next time, I'm your host, Naz Perez, and we'll see you back here for more Top 10s on the Rotten Tomatoes Countdown.